So my name is Daniel Mezei. I'm the screenwriter on the feature. I'm also acting in part 2 of this first webisode. That's the director, Juliane Block, and she's stuffing her job with... it's real food, actually, in case any of you are worried. And this is, of course, a continuation from part 1. So I'm bounding up the staircase, and basically the character is completely discombobulated. It doesn't really know where he's at. He's just been rudely awoken in this kind of cellar. He's got this device that's... Spoilers! He's got this device that's embedded in his tibia. And he meets this vagrant woman at the top of the stairs, and they're having this exchange about, what's the fate of somebody who has one of these things embedded in his or her leg. Again, all of the visual effects and the actual makeup is done by that woman right there who you're seeing in front of you. That's Juliane Block. She did all of this stuff. We didn't go with professional actors on this particular webisode, strictly because it was a time-based decision. We just had to move with this. We wanted to provide a series of webisodes that explain some of the more difficult to grasp concepts of the story world in a way that would basically remove the need for us to do this in exposition or as like some long-winded, really amateur type of attempt in the actual feature. So the acting's pretty good. I mean, we've had it kind of like test marketed with some of our friends and some film people. And even though we don't do this for a living, they said that we did a pretty good job. And major kudos to co-director Javier Agudo, who's the man who's, DPing this and who's a colleague of ours here in Berlin. And he basically made sure that this looked the way that it was supposed to look. And he gave a lot of really good pointers, improv-type pointers to us on the day that we actually did this. It's a super exhausting day. And I really have a lot of respect for actors now that... they're able to do this thing that they do, this creating something from nothing to, transport you into this world where, they get you thinking about, whatever is going on. Okay. You can see some of it is probably much better done by professionals, but we had a lot of good time. We had a good time going over all of this. We had a good time following through on these lines because at least now a lot of our work for the main feature is taken care of. We no longer have to set up all of these complicated scenes. And Julian and I actually, we have a really good simpatico on this particular part. This was probably the second best series of exchanges that we had on this entire shoot for this entire day. Again, this was shot in Juliana's apartment in her basement on a quiet Sunday when basically nothing is going on in Berlin, which is probably the best day to shoot. So we have a crowdfunding campaign at indiegogo.com/theinnerdistrict. If you like what you saw, we would really appreciate your support. Now, I know a lot of people say that, but the more money that we have at this point in the game, the better it is going to be for us in the future. Just imagine that the wall hasn't fallen in 2020, and imagine that Berlin is still divided. And if you can picture that scene in your mind, you'll see exactly the reason why we're asking for your generosity and your support. Thanks again, at the Inner District.